Have you ever felt like your own thoughts sometimes take control of you, like they pull you in directions you don't even want to go? Trust me, you're not alone. Lust, for example, can feel impossible to escape. It's sneaky, it's powerful, and it often distracts us from what truly matters. But what if I told you there's a way to overcome it, not just for a moment but for the rest of your life? I've been inspired by someone you might know, Kiyotaka Ayanokoji. His ability to stay calm, focused, and completely in control of his emotions is something I deeply admire. He once said, "True strength is not about dominating others, it's about controlling yourself." And that's exactly what this video is about, learning how to take back control. So, how do we channel that Ayanokoji-like focus and kill lust forever? Let's talk about it, because if he can master himself in such an intense way, so can you. Understanding the root of lust. Before we dive into the details, there's one thing we need to address first. Understanding the root of lust. Lust is a powerful emotion, and like any strong emotion, it comes from somewhere. If you've ever watched Classroom of the Elite, you'll notice that Ayanokoji never lets his emotions drive his actions. He dissects situations with cold precision, understanding the root cause of a problem before acting. Lust is no different. To overcome it, you need to understand why it's there. Lust often stems from a desire for instant gratification, an escape, or even a lack of self-worth. It thrives on triggers, whether it's something you see, hear, or imagine. Ayanokoji's ability to observe and understand without reacting teaches us an important lesson. If you can recognize what triggers your lust, you can start dismantling its power over you. I remember reading this in Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. It's the same with lust. It begins with a stimulus, a trigger, but you always have a moment, however brief, to choose your response. Step 1. Track your triggers. So, what's the first thing you have to do? Track when and why lustful feelings arise. What were you doing? How were you feeling? Pay attention to the moments when lust takes over. Is it late at night while scrolling through social media? Is it when you're stressed? Identifying patterns isn't just an intellectual exercise, it's a way to reclaim power over your responses. Remember, as Eckhart Tolle once said, awareness is the greatest agent for change. Step 2. Replace lust with purpose. Once you've identified the triggers, what's next? You replace lust with something far more fulfilling. Lust feeds on empty desires. Purpose fills that void. If you look at Ayanokoji, he's driven by calculated goals, not fleeting emotions. Now, we don't have to be as cold and analytical as him, but we can learn the value of channeling our energy into something meaningful. So ask yourself, what are you passionate about? What brings you joy or fulfillment? Lust loses its grip when your mind is focused on building something greater, whether that's your career, your relationships, or your personal growth. If you've read Atomic Habits by James Clear, you'll know that creating better habits starts with small, intentional changes. Here's an idea. Replace the time you'd normally spend feeding lustful thoughts with something productive. Maybe you pick up a new hobby, start exercising, or work on a skill you've always wanted to develop. You see, Ayanokoji's motivations evolve as he finds deeper meaning in his actions. You can do the same, shift your focus from temporary pleasures to lasting impact. It's not about suppressing desire. It's about transforming it into something that aligns with your goals. Step 3. Build discipline. Now you might be wondering, what happens when temptation hits hard? For that, you need discipline. And yes, it might sound cliche, but discipline really is the key. Coming back to Ayanokoji, his strength lies in his unflinching control over his emotions and actions. Most of us aren't operating in high-stakes environments like him, but discipline is still a muscle we can build. And the good news? The more you practice, the stronger it gets. Start small. Maybe it's saying no to scrolling on your phone when you know it'll lead to distractions. Maybe it's taking a cold shower when you feel overwhelmed by temptation. Each time you make a choice that aligns with your values instead of your impulses, you're strengthening that discipline muscle. In The Obstacle is the Way, Ryan Holiday explains how challenges, including temptations, are opportunities to grow. Lust is no different. Each moment of temptation is a chance to prove to yourself that you are stronger than your impulses. When you feel yourself slipping, take a deep breath and remind yourself of your long-term goals. One of my favorite sayings is, discipline equals freedom. When you control your desires, you gain the freedom to focus on what truly matters. Step 4. Rewire your thoughts. While discipline is essential, there's one final ingredient you need to truly overcome lust: your mindset. Your thoughts shape your reality. If you constantly tell yourself that lust is unbeatable, you'll believe it. But what happens when you shift your mindset? Suddenly, breaking free becomes possible. Ayanokoji isn't just disciplined, he's strategic. He controls his narrative and chooses how to perceive challenges. You can do the same. By rewiring your thought patterns, you regain control. Here's how. Practice mindfulness. When a lustful thought pops into your mind, don't fight it. Acknowledge it, then let it pass. Meditation can help with this. Apps like Headspace or Calm guide you through observing your thoughts without judgment. Use visualization. Picture the person you want to become. Someone who isn't controlled by lust, but channels their energy into meaningful pursuits. Then act as if you're already that person. Psychologists call this the as-if principle, and trust me, it works. Step 5. Play the long game. Here's the truth. One of the biggest mistakes people make in overcoming lust, or any challenge, is expecting immediate results. Real change takes time. This is where patience becomes your greatest ally. Lust thrives on urgency, on the need for instant gratification. To defeat it, you have to play the long game. Think of it like planting a tree. You won't see branches and leaves sprout overnight. But as you water it, nurture it, and give it time, it grows into something strong and enduring. Each small, intentional choice you make is like planting a seed of discipline and purpose. Over time, those seeds grow into something remarkable. A life where you're no longer controlled by fleeting desires. Take a lesson from Ayanokoji in Classroom of the Elite. He doesn't act on impulse. He strategizes. He understands the bigger picture. And he waits for the right moment to act. Your journey is the same. Progress might feel slow, but every small victory builds momentum. Step 6. Celebrate the small wins. Here's some practical advice. Celebrate the little wins. Did you resist a temptation today? Did you focus on something meaningful instead of giving in to distractions? These moments matter. As Stephen Covey said, sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Patience helps you sow the right seeds, and over time, you'll harvest the freedom and focus you've been striving for. Step 7. Surround yourself with the right influences. Finally, surround yourself with positive influences. Whether it's books, videos, or people who inspire you, the content you consume shapes your journey. Just like Ayanokoji stays focused on his objectives, you can curate your environment to support your growth. Overcoming lust isn't about winning a single battle, it's about building freedom. Freedom to focus on what truly matters. Freedom to live a life driven by purpose, not fleeting desires. And remember, every small step toward mastering your impulses is a step toward your greatest strength. It's not about perfection. It's about persistence. As Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act but a habit. Start building the habits today that will shape your tomorrow. The tools are now in your hands. The question is, will you take the first step today? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're hungry for more practical tips and strategies, hit that subscribe button. See you in the next video.